Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Brian McIntyre. I'm the owner of Audio Hive Podcasting in Joliet, Illinois. Audio Hive Podcasting is a studio dedicated to podcast recording, editing, and production in Joliet, Illinois. You're about to listen to That Checks Out with Ted and Damon, or Damon and Ted. I don't know. They haven't really decided yet. You know, usually when the episode's done recording, Damon goes back and listens to all the pre-show banner and decides what parts make them sound funny, and then has me put those at the end as an extra. I told them that I didn't record anything extra today, and so we wouldn't have anything to put at the end of the episode, but I lied. Here's Damon and Ted when they think no one's listening.
So is this cool? I think this time, not doing any list. However, I brought a list. I'm sure you have stuff too. Yeah, are you in? Hello?
That's a conversation he's had more than once.
Is it in?
More than once he's had that conversation.
Are you in?
Almost.
Are you in? And then in the guy's voice, yes, I am.
Now.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. We didn't have anything pre-discussed at all.
No, because we were going to use this stuff off Facebook, and I really like some of the stuff people put up. And I loved your comment about that's got legs. Here all week, folks. I'm here all week.
Here all week. Try the fish.
That was good. Try the fish.
That's a turn. Don't try it Monday.
See, I don't sound as deep as I normally do.
Did you have a cold last? Did you have?
No, and I didn't hit puberty yet. Still holding out. Hey,
I'm at puberty. I would hit that.
I'm 44 though now.
That's true.
I'm older. You got to respect me. Yes, yeah. I'm your elder. Yeah.
44.
Dude, I have some killer topics off our thing. And then I got private message like a bunch of crap. And you know what makes me mad? Is that's what Facebook's for. Put it out in the open so everybody can see it.
You can talk about it.
And I'm getting text messages like, hey, check this out. Hey, I got a good idea.
Well, I've been getting people asking, hey, is it okay if I share your stuff? What? Yes. That's why we said in the video,
yes.
Please share this. Oh, yeah. Is it all right? Can I? Do
me a favor, share it with someone I'm not already friends with because I've already jammed it down their throat.
Can you share it with Damon? I think he wants to see it.
Yeah. You know the guy that's not me on the recording? Make sure he hears it. Do you really get that question?
Yeah, I have gotten it more than once.
Really?
Is it okay if I put this?
Are you related to that person?
No.
Okay. Just want to get that out of the air.
No, I know you're going with that.
Because I'm going to have a lot of fun if that's the case. Because then I'm gonna send messages going, "Why did you do that? Why did you share this?"
Are we shouting out today?
Yeah. Hey, actually, so little premise.
Well, you guys, how long have you been here?
You were late for the meeting.
We start at 5, and I find out every day, every week you're in here at 3.
Yeah, but I don't know. I helped him hang a screen, and we put up some lights. I don't know. It's great.
Did a little trimming around the outside. Yeah. That's fantastic. Went 2 doors down and got some medicine from the medicine store.
Yeah, it's only 1 door down.
Yeah. Herbal medicine.
This guy knows.
See, how come his voice sounds the coolest out of everybody?
He's the one running the board.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, he's like Barry White, and we're like just white. I get to hear myself. I understand. Yeah, he sounds very peaceful. No,
if we were to contest you and Damon on that, I think he'd still lose.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
What was this premise you wanted to bring up?
I don't know, but I got a trophy just a minute ago that I'm very proud of. So, no, the premise, because we talked about we're going to argue.
Right.
Okay. So literally, we'll give a topic and we pick a side. And I hate to say it, even if we both want the same side, dibs. It is what it is. Call dibs. Okay.
All right.
So, but here's the deal. Brian.
Oh, we're convincing Brian?
Well, if it's not convincing enough, which it will be because I'm far superior to you at arguing.
Sure.
But if it's not convincing enough, there's a go-to guy. Brian.
Oh, okay. So you're the go-to guy.
Yeah.
And he's the go-to guy.
He's the go-to guy. Right. Yeah, that's why I showed up early and helped him hang lights, because odds are this is going to be a clean sweep, bro.
If you can get Brian to say that checks out at the end of your argument,
yes,
you won.
That's what it is. He said the phrase. He said the phrase.
That's a thing. That's our school. He said it. He said our school.
Oh my goodness. That's the name of our podcast, Brian. You know the one that you record and edit for us? That one. Hey, did you put your phone on vibrate?
No, I put it on silent. Is that good enough for you?
That's good. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to sit here and be like, "Oh, look at Ted shaking." I'm not
doing
it
on the table. So the whole.
I'm going to put mine on the table, but that's because I want to be able to see it because I put some stuff in it. Am I showing up okay on this?
Visually, I hope not.
Yeah, visually sexy.
Check your posture.
I'm talking about volume. Like I sound totally weird in my ear. Is there anything you can do to like butch me up to where I feel like I'm
it louder? Or what do you want?
He wants it deeper.
Yeah. Deeper, and then I'll get louder. Is that how it goes? More depth. I would like to. More reverb. Verb. Oh no. Yeah, I'm starting to. Hey, sounding better now. This sounds more like I was when I was on the other mic. Yeah.
Did he turn up the James Earl Jones on you?
Yeah, I don't know.
He did the Darth Vader.
Yeah.
The Darth Vader fader.
Is he doing Darth Vader? No, he's winded. He walked in from the truck.
Literally, I just turned it up more. You just like the way your voice sounds.
Is that all you did?
I literally.
All right, welcome to That Checks Out with Damon and Ted. My name is Ted Wilson. Across me is my co-host, Damon Paracchio. What do you got for us today, Damon?
I like that. I like that you big time the opening. That was solid.
I put you first. I took it, but I put you first.
No. I like the way you did that. That's the way we should do it from now on, no matter who says it. Remember today.
Oh, is this is the only time we're gonna be on the same page? Is that
correct?
Okay.
Because today's the arguing episode.
That's
so
correct.
I'm reaffirming what a great job.
Before we do
you
that,
did.
let's tell everyone where we are.
Where we are?
Yeah.
We're at Audio Hive Podcasting. This is a great studio.
It is.
And why are we here, Ted? Because we went over it slightly in the first episode, but because we would sound like garbage and not have a podcast unless it was for Brian and Audio Hive.
Yeah, we built like this cone of silence out of wood to try to talk into one mic across the table from each
Yes.
other. Maybe one day we'll show a picture of that. I hope not. I hope you burned all that footage
That was-
and the actual item itself.
Yeah, that was no, I still have the box.
Oh,
Yeah, the box of no echo. Yeah.
I don't care for that.
Yeah. No, we're at Audio Hive. This place is really awesome. And honestly, without being able to come here and do this, which by the way, media essential.
Yes, but let's give a shout out to Brian, who has been helping us through all of these episodes. Great guy, been the one producing, editing, doing all the behind the scenes stuff, so we can just come over here and talk, sound like idiots.
Yeah.
And he does the smart stuff, which that checks out.
Well, that does check out. We're all really doing what we're qualified to do in this room. Okay.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah. If we were taking applications, neither one of us would get his job.
If the job was just to come in here and take a nap, I'd be most qualified for that.
Correct. Correct.
You apparently want me to talk.
But we did decide too, we're going to give him a live mic because especially today, if there needs to be a tiebreaker, Brian, hey Brian, are you on a live mic? Can you talk? Yes. Oh, this
Excellent.
is great.
I have a feeling this is the beginning of the end for Ted being the co-host.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce my cousin
that
Brian.
guy sounds really good.
I'd like to introduce my cousin Brian to everybody. And remember, Brian, I got to see you Christmas and Thanksgiving.
If next week when you take it, if it starts out, welcome to That Checks Out with Damon and Brian, I'm going to get a hint.
Well, first off, the sound is going to be horrendous. Okay, because that means we've switched chairs. So
He's got a live mic. You can do it from there.
yeah.
All right. You got topics? What's the first argument?
So when you say
Debate?
argument, debate.
Oh, we're going to argue this?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you, Ted. I'm going to debate you. Okay, you understand?
No, but go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Facebook. And by the way, I got a lot of private messages, which was phenomenal, and I really like the fact that people listen and they're this and that and the other. But put it on Facebook. Put it on Facebook because somebody's good idea on Facebook turned into something. It just rolls and rolls and rolls, and it's wonderful. When you just give it to me, it's in my head.
Well, now it seems weird because you have to keep going, hey, Ted, this guy said we should do this. And I'm wondering, did someone really tell you that, Damon?
Right. Yeah.
Or is this just, I want to talk about this, but I can't get someone to put it on Facebook for me.
Somebody sent me this message that said, Damon is the best guy in the podcast. Oh, wait, that's a text from my mom. Never mind. So then, but that's how it goes. We like the legitimacy behind, hey, somebody else saw that too,
Right.
We could start easy. I like the hot dog a sandwich?
I was hoping because that's the one that's been bugging me.
Okay, so I already knew what side I wanted to be on.
You tell me what side. I'll take whatever side you don't want.
Okay, so here's the deal. Hot dog is not a sandwich.
I wanted to go with hot dog is a sandwich. So
Did you?
We're good.
Okay, we're not good because you're going to lose.
That's
Brian,
fine.
get ready. Get ready
I'm
for the
happy
hot
with that.
dog.
Go ahead.
All right?
Go ahead. You start out.
Okay, there's absolutely zero way other than if you're ghetto enough like me to not buy hot dog buns, it doesn't go on bread. Okay. It's not spread across anything. It's not sliced thinly. I can't put mounds and mounds of them on something because they fall off. Trust me, I've tried.
I was going to say, you're not trying hard enough,
Yeah.
but apparently you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I've never put chili on a sandwich. I've never put, I put mayo on a sandwich.
Wait, you never have put chili on a sandwich?
No.
So are you saying a hamburger is also not a sandwich? Because have you had a...
Hamburger's a hamburger. That's not a sandwich. You want... hey, sounds like we got another round here in a second. But what I'm telling you right now, is seriously, there's no way that it does not fall in the sandwich category. It is its own entity. If you go anywhere and say hot dog, people know what it is. It's not a sandwich.
So you're saying that you could say it's a hot dog, but people, if you said name a sandwich, they would get to like 30 sandwiches and they'd never say hot dog. Is that kind of your argument though?
Correct. And honestly, just to piggyback, they would also never say, oh, cheeseburger or hamburger. They would never.
I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
I'm borderline on the hot dog, but I will tell you this: a sandwich, in its basic definition, is substance between bread.
Right.
And you're telling me a bun is not bread?
No, it's a bun.
What's it made out of? If you took the ingredients of bread and the ingredients of a bun, where's the difference? Just the pan it's cooked in.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm the chef. I know how to deep fry stuff. That's about all I know how to do.
You know how to find deep fried Oreos.
I know that too.
In a stand that sells 40 other things.
That's closer to being a sandwich to me than a hot dog.
A deep fried Oreo?
Yeah.
Well, it's a sandwich cookie, so that's kind of cheating.
Yeah.
But, so a hot dog, I'm not saying it's like the essential example of a sandwich, but it falls in the sandwich category.
See,
it has meat. You can put condiments on it. You can put it between two things of bread on top of it. Especially you probably buys the cheap buns that split down the middle. So now you literally do have one separate entity on the bottom and one separate entity on the top.
I do buy the cheap buns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that you don't look at that and go like, oh, that's just a weird shaped sandwich. I'm going to eat a couple of those. Because here's the thing. I will say this about a hot dog, which I will kind of put in your favor. This kind of leans towards you, is that I hate going to places and you see like you can see like the number 1 is a hamburger meal, the number 2 is a cheeseburger meal, the number 3 is a hot dog with the same with the same side and drink as the. It's like, well, no.
Yeah,
I don't like it when they like, oh, it's a quarter pound of a hot dog. I don't care. It has to be at least 2, or I'm not considering it a meal. And usually it's the same price as the 1 or the 2. That's asinine. Now that kind of solidifies your argument.
Right. Hey, price wise, is it a sandwich? No.
But they're not putting it on a separate menu. It's like, hey, here's the sandwich specials. You see it you see the hot dog under that.
And it's usually a 2 hot dog special.
Well, it should be, because otherwise it's just blasphemy.
Yeah. So
are we just going to get to the point where we're just going to talk each other into your ideas? Because I don't like how this is playing out already.
Well, who's winning?
All right.
Brian.
Let's put a pin in that.
Brian. Sandwich?
Sorry, technical stuff, wasn't really paying attention.
That's good.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Man. I wasn't really paying attention. I kind of blacked out.
You know what?
I'm
going to use that the rest of the... I'm sorry, Ted. What did you say?
Let's side note the side note here and go. So you're saying a hamburger is also not a sandwich?
No.
What is it? Just a burger?
Yeah, it's a burger. Because if you ask somebody...
Why can't we just have this, like, all squares aren't rectangles, but all squares are rectangles, but all rectangles aren't squares? Where are we drawing the line on that?
I'm drawing the line on if I ask somebody, hey, do you want to get a sandwich?
They're never going to think burger or hot dog.
They don't really say burger. They're never going to say hot dog. They're going to think, are we going to Portillo's and getting a beef sandwich? Are we going to Jimmy John's and getting a sandwich? Are we going? They're thinking sandwich shop. What's that?
Well,
fire subs or whatever they are. Firehouse, you know.
Started by firefighters everywhere.
Right.
Here's the thing. Is that I get that, and I think it's mostly the chains that have done that. If you go to like a local, especially in the Chicago area, you go like, hey, we're going to go to Wolfie's, let's say, or Jimmy's, or there are always some like X and Y apostrophe S. You can get a sandwich or a burger or a hot dog at any of those places. They don't specify. It's when they've gone national. They've decided they've put their number on the back of a Subway, and that's what they're going with.
Well, and that's why if I go to McDonald's, the biggest chain in the world, right? I can go.
You don't have to tell me that.
But
I just walked in and was like, "Is that Grimace?"
Yeah, but I can get a ham. I'm not even wearing a purple shirt. That does not check out at all. Okay, it's false. So anyway, note to self: never wear a purple shirt. Yeah. Throw out everything I own.
Jot that down.
Right. Yeah. Grimace or Barney both come into play. But no, realistically, you would not go in when you go to McDonald's. You order a burger, or you can order a chicken sandwich, a fish sandwich.
Okay, because it's not called a hamburger sandwich.
Correct.
Is that what you're going with?
Correct. So, can we just agree that I won the hot dog argument?
All right, so you have your class and your phylum here, and you have your whole like breakdown of how it's going. So you're saying there's a burger category, there's a sandwich category, there's a hot dog category. They are all most of them, unless you have like just a vegetable sandwich where you were trying to get peanut butter and jellies, you sneak that in your original argument. But let's say those meat-based food items between bread, what's above it? What could you say like that would incorporate all of them?
Biscuits and gravy.
I don't think you understand what I'm asking. Like go one up higher. So all the burgers have their own category.
Everything.
Hot dog has everything under its category. Sandwich has everything under its category. I'm going. What would be one title or group that you could say that everyone would know what all that is?
Oh, then you're going.
Just hey, we're gonna get some meat between bread.
Yeah.
And then you have to classify if it's a hot dog
it's
or
a sandwich. It's a sandwich.
But now it's a sandwich?
It's a sandwich, not a hamburger. No, it's a
But
sandwich.
I'm saying, like, a sandwich, like a ham sandwich, is meat between bread. A hamburger
Correct.
is ground beef between bread. A hot dog
On a bun.
is
On a bun.
lips and butts between bread. Go above it. What one word could you say that would encompass all of those?
Delicious.
Oh my God.
Okay, so hey, Mr. Technical Stuff.
He doesn't care about your short bus.
Did he go to the bed? He's not even here.
I wouldn't be either at this point. Can we side note on this?
Yeah.
What's your status? We're talking about sandwiches and burgers and everything. What's your status on mayonnaise? Where are you at on that?
Oh, hey, true mayonnaise. I can't do Miracle Whip.
Oh, yeah,
So-
well, that's
That's a given,
that's
right?
not mayonnaise, right?
We're not allowed to agree, but I'm so on your side. Okay, all right, that's fine.
That Miracle Whip isn't mayonnaise? I'm saying, like, what's
Miracle Whip's disgusting. I would never eat
right,
it.
but would you eat mayonnaise?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're not on the same side because I think mayonnaise is gross.
Are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious.
It enhances. It's like ranch to me. It enhances
I was
everything
watching-
on the face of the earth.
I was watching this show that where chefs were ranking foods and they got to mayonnaise and all of them gave them like 98 out of 100 because they said it's the best condiment, it's everything. It's gross. You can keep it. Mayonnaise is essentially just eggs emulsified into fat. They whip eggs into fat and it becomes mayonnaise. Whenever I eat eggs, scientifically I become mayonnaise because eggs are now inside of fat.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about that?
Well, I'll be honest with you. If you took mayo, ranch, and Velveeta cheese and wrapped a dog turd in all of that, I'd eat it. Those are the three things that make anything better. They're the three things that make everything better.
Somehow I'm losing this argument with you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What are you going to tell me? Velveeta's not a cheese now?
No, I'm fine with Velveeta. You can keep the ranch and the mayo. I will let you have the Velveeta.
Okay. Hey, I can live with that.
So
And a hot
gross.
dog's not a sandwich.
Don't-
That's solid.
Do not care for that.
And okay, one more. You already know my answer. Do you put ketchup on a hot dog?
I do not put ketchup on a hot dog.
I do. Now, I put all the other condiments on it as well. But when you tell somebody I want a Chicago style plus ketchup, they look at you like you're stupid.
I will say that I don't have a problem with you putting ketchup on your hot dog, though, which I know other people would have a problem with that.
Right. 'Cause, well, we went over that, the territorial thing and the whole, I mean, that's
I honestly don't care what other people put on their hot dog.
But you would never put-
if it's a dog turd, maybe I'm going to say something.
but you never put mayo on a burger.
Me, no.
Yeah, really. And I think that makes it wonderful. So so how do you do like BLTs?
Oh, gross.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
Okay, you know
But
what?
BLT is a
our
sandwich.
podcast
No,
ain't over, but our friendship is.
That's
I'm just
fine.
letting you know.
That's fine.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was done with this from episode 2.
Okay.
A BLT is just like a sandwich starter kit. It's like a burger starter kit. You got the lettuce, tomato, the bacon, the mayonnaise, and the bread, which is also a bun. Whatever you're going to say about that.
Toast.
Don't want to hear it.
Toast.
Don't want to hear it. You know what makes that a meal? You put a burger with cheese in the middle of that. Then maybe you have a sandwich. Other than that, I don't want it.
And you still want to hold the mayo.
Like, yeah, well, gross.
Yeah.
I don't care for it. Rather not have it. But a BLT, I just like, whenever we'd have those as kids, it'd be like, cool. You forgot the main part of the sandwich.
No, man. You're not putting enough bacon on that.
I don't like bacon that much.
Really?
Yeah.
My daughter hates bacon too. You know what? She's got red hair. Is that?
It probably.
So if
Yeah,
you don't have a
probably
soul,
genetic.
if you're a ginger and you don't have a soul, you just don't like bacon?
Probably what it is. That checks
my
out.
Goodness, that does check out. Hey, I'm done with hot dogs though.
Okay,
I won. Let's just agree that
Are you
I
done
won.
eating hot dogs? Or
No.
are you just done with this argument?
No, I'm probably gonna get some afterwards now. I'll be honest with you.
Make sure you go someplace that puts 2 in the value pack.
Yeah. Hey, why? Nobody likes a quitter, Ted. What's 2?
But
What about a corn dog?
that is not. That's in robe.
That's not a
encased.
sandwich,
I don't-
right?
Yeah, I don't think that's a sandwich.
Okay, so hot dog's just one step away. It's right there. Yeah. You know what? Point proven.
I don't
Point
think
Damon.
so. I don't think you.
It's 1-0.
I don't think you've taken a.
You should
corn
have
dog.
stayed in the car. You should have stayed in the car. You'd have just as many points as you have right now.
I would have so much more fun though.
Yeah. More intelligent conversation.
Yeah, seriously. There's a really smart guy in the mirror in my car.
Yeah. So I guess my big question is too then. The other one that really struck me, this one stuck out because I didn't know you were going to take that stance. I like the fact you took that stance because I know where I wanted to be on that stance.
All right, okay.
Okay. But the whole pet thing.
About weird pets?
About weird pets. Like what classifies as a pet? I know you have a dog. I have a dog, which I'm more of a big dog guy. I have a little dog. So I have a pet in my house, but it's not my ideal pet. But where do you draw the line? Does it have to have legs?
Does it have to have legs? I don't think it has to have legs.
Okay, so then we're wrong. You're wrong. I'm right, because I believe if it's a pet, even if it's a parakeet, it's got legs.
So people that have snakes and fish don't count?
No. Fish not
But they
a
can
pet.
have a turtle.
Huh?
They can have a turtle or a
Turtle's
iguana,
got legs.
ferret,
Yeah.
rabbit,
Yeah. Well,
guinea pig,
Yeah. So
hamster.
Hey, way to go there. National Geographic. You're
All-
naming
all of
everything.
those are
hey,
pets.
Hey, Ted's the Animal Planet guy.
But the
Look at
people
this.
that have fish, no. The people that have a snake, no.
If your fish dies, what do you do with it? You flush it down the toilet.
Sure.
Pretty
guess.
much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I haven't had a fish in years.
Right. Why? Because it's not a pet. You know what fish is good with? Tartar sauce. So I'm
Not
just
those
being-
fish. You probably tried it.
No, not those. Not those. But what I'm saying is yeah.
No,
snakes.
having a true like aquarium or an actually big fish tank that requires a lot of work that I didn't really want to put into it.
Correct.
But a lot of people get enjoyment out of it. They don't want like a dog that poops in the house or barks, or they don't want a cat that sheds, or they don't want a snake that'll eat their face. I get that. They want fish. That's fine. It's calming for some people. So what is it? What is a fish in your house then? That you take care of, you clean up, you feed, all of that. What is it?
I would never have one of those. So I don't.
It's not
a pet.
being ignorant of what it is does not.
No, it's
not an argument you can
But I'm
make.
saying it's not. You actually made my argument for me. Like you said, it's not worth that much hassle
for me
or for me or for anybody
but
else.
that doesn't make it not a pet.
Yeah, it does. Does that fish know when you call it? Does that fish know when you
Does
interact
a turtle
with it at
know?
all?
Does a hamster? Does a guinea pig? All the things that National Geographic Ted mentioned earlier, they don't know that either.
Sure they do.
Okay.
Sure they do.
Now we're just gonna.
Well, if you're holding food, a fish ain't gonna come up and take the food from you.
That's not true.
What kind of fish are you feeding?
Have you ever seen hold fish food
Piranhas?
above the water? They know what you're doing. They come up to the top of the water and come get it.
Not out of your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to run a test on this then. There's going to need to be some more scientific study. But right now,
you're going to do
I'm gonna
scientific
take,
study?
Yeah, I'm going to take a half a point because you know why? I think your argument sucked.
This is really nice. The setup you had with Brian. Before the show, Brian, we're going to tell Ted that you're going to be the judge. But then during the show, you're going to be too busy to listen to any of it. So I'm going to be the judge. I think that's how it went down before I got here.
Hey, Brian,
I'm back now.
which guy not named Ted just got a half point in that last round? You just got to know how to ask the question, Ted. You're doing it wrong. Yeah, which guy not named Ted? Okay.
All right, so those are the two I've seen. I've seen Hot Dog. I've seen Pet. Give me one of these ones that came to you from your friends in private messaging.
Well, we had one that came up before about talking about like old stuff, the wrestlers, WWE, WWF. You remember it was WWF before
Yeah.
they had to change the name?
Yeah,
We were kids.
World Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah,
the panda
something,
people.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
They made them change the name.
Yeah,
so
well, they had
WWE.
the copyright before that, apparently.
Broke my microphone again, Brian.
You don't have to hold it the whole time. It's on a stand. Like, you don't have to touch it to do anything.
Now I have to be like,
Do we need to fix this?
no, I don't know. I'll figure it out while I'm going. But I guess my question is, if you go back to the wrestlers of the day,
Okay.
and now think about like The Rock, okay? He's so mainstream. Take some of those wrestlers from back in the day and make them movie stars. Put them in a movie.
they tried that.
They did and they failed. But I think about it. I guess what I'd like to do is like, one of your go-to movies. Come on, Back to the Future.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What if Hulk Hogan was Marty McFly?
How is that going to work?
Huh?
How is it? Marty McFly was a teenager.
Yeah. What if Hulk Hogan was Marty McFly? A young Hulk Hogan. Young.
A young Terry was
Yeah.
Marty McFly.
Yeah.
I don't think
So you're saying that couldn't work at all?
No, I don't think that works.
I think it would be awesome now hear me out here, okay? Multiple reasons. Think about it. When Biff is trying to put the moves on his mom and he's got to whoop some ass. If it's Hulk Hogan, what's going to happen? Even in the second one, when he's on the hoverboard, and the second one, right, where they run into the truck of manure and the manure falls on him.
Well, that happens in all three, but sure. Yeah. the
Right.
second one.
Yeah.
But when he's in the tunnel and he's trying to get away. And,
Correct. But when they do that, if that's Hulk Hogan, he doesn't have to run away on a hoverboard. He stays around and just whoops some ass. That's awesome.
I think that's a different movie. Do you just want to watch wrestling in movies?
No. Everything I think would be better with wrestlers in it. Like, what was the?
I think this podcast would be.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You
At
need
least- at
tats
least
on
the-
your head, Bam Bam.
At least
you
the
need
one I'm
tats on
looking
your
at
head.
right now. Holy cow. All right.
Yeah. But so you don't agree that he could have done crossover and done a movie like that? I know they tried and he was awful.
Yeah. Do you see like the one where he's like the nanny or something? I don't remember the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. What was the name of that? I don't even remember the name of that.
I don't know either, but it was
Yeah.
awful.
Oh no. Yeah. Exactly.
But it's because it wasn't a good script. Back to the Future is a great script, Ted.
I'm not saying wrestlers couldn't act. Like, have you ever seen They Live with Roddy Piper?
No.
I don't even know why we're talking at this point then.
Really?
That was fantastic. There was like a 15-minute fight scene where they actually like fought for, is this going to end? I don't want it to end because it's fantastic. It's amazing. It's
okay. Well, now I have something to watch.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Wrestlers could do movies back in the day. Just there wasn't much crossover as it is now.
But I'm thinking like even like The Princess Bride.
Andre Giant.
What if that big guy would have been played by Andre the Giant? That would have been awesome. You know what I mean? That'd have been so cool.
The big guy in Princess Bride,
Yeah.
played by Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
What
if he'd have played that?
It was Andre the Giant.
Oh, my point exactly. It's great when they cross over into movies with good scripts. Okay.
Yeah, right. I would have put Andre the Giant in much of movies. You said Hulk Hogan.
Well, because I think
I wouldn't watch him make that turd hot dog you were talking about earlier.
I'd watch him eat it.
Well, yes, I would. That I would watch.
I'd watch him eat it. So okay, so last one then, and we'll get off it. But last one, The Karate Kid. Okay,
I'm interested so far.
With the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah, which part? Any part? All the parts?
Any part. Would that not be awesome?
Can they parent trap him in so he's like Mr. Miyagi and Danny and Johnny?
Just imagine you hear his music. He runs out.
Is Elizabeth Shue played by Miss Elizabeth?
Oh, that would be pretty cool. I like where you're going with this, Ted. We're not supposed to agree, but I'm really on board.
Who's in that? Is that Paramount and Universal? We need to find out who owns that.
Well, Ultimate Warrior passed away, sadly. So there's no more.
They can do things with holograms now. It's amazing.
Yeah, but I just thought to myself, how crazy would that be? Sweep the leg, Johnny? No. Broken back, Johnny. Gorilla slam. And it lasted about 14 seconds from the time he ran from the locker room and ran out. I started thinking about this stuff because that's back to me when it was only wrestling. They couldn't cross over.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It was like they did a lot of stuff where they tried to do it, but it really didn't work. It wasn't like, how now, if they left, they kind of left.
Yeah.
Or it was, you could tell it was like, oh, this is just for cross promotion, or this is just, we're trying to see what happens. Now, when The Rock goes and makes a movie, it's like a legitimate blockbuster movie. He's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of today.
He is. Well, even John Cena's done some stuff that's pretty good. And when he's not selling garbage bags, I mean, it's pretty, he's pretty good,
I haven't seen him do that.
But him with hair, yeah, you can't see him. You can't see him, Ted. But I don't trust John Cena with hair. To me, he's like Brian Urlacher with hair. Oh, God, I don't want to see that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, why? Go back to what you had,
The fact that company paid him to do that and then decided, hey, you know what? We need a billboard every 8 feet to scare people.
Yeah.
And to not getting hair. That's crazy.
Yeah. But, and I was at the Hall of Fame. We totally digressed here, but I was at the
that's fine because this argument thing.
But I was at the Hall of Fame when he got inducted. And my only hope was that he went up like he played football. And contractually, I don't think he could. You know what I mean? Like he could.
The restore people, he has to be shown with hair now.
He couldn't shave his head and go up there and be the guy that's on the bust that's going into the Hall of Fame at Canton. You know what I mean? He had to be the guy that's on the billboard next to the other billboard, next to the other billboard on the way to Canton.
Did you boo him? I would have booed him. Like, where's that bald guy?
No.
That statue is a bald guy. Where's that guy?
No. Side note, I booed Brian Dawkins and I booed Ray Lewis because his speech ruined the whole day. Hey, interesting note on that. Since we went to the Hall of Fame.
Please do.
Since we went to the Hall of Fame, I met Randy Moss at the Hall of Fame when he was getting inducted that weekend. And when I say met him, we were at Buffalo Wild Wings. We decided to leave and go for lunch because everything there was packed and it was hot, So myself, my brother, my son, and my nephew.
The Florida of Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It was blistering. I think it's by the equator. I'm not sure, but I think it's right by the equator.
There's water there. That's all I know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like an ocean. So anyway, we went Golden Gate Bridge. There's something there. I'm not going to. Brian, Golden Gate Bridge?
San Francisco.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So,
which is in Ohio, I think.
Point to Brian. Sure.
Yeah. Brian, you're not allowed to get points.
Anyway, you're in Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, we're in Buffalo Wild Wings.
When I go to Ohio, I like to go somewhere indicative of the people and their culture. Somewhere that only the locals know about Buffalo Wild Wing.
Well, Buffalo's also in Ohio. You know what I mean? So that's why.
There's a lot of losers in both Buffalo and Ohio. So I guess that checks out. Sure.
So great. There goes our demographic.
Yeah, there goes the one person in Ohio that maybe heard of us.
But we're in the Buffalo Wild Wings. We look up at the TV, and they're showing the now we didn't see the ceremony from the night before, where they were on ESPN, and they're showing. And Randy Moss has his gray beard, right? And he's up there, and he's getting his jacket before he goes on stage the day we're watching him get put in. Okay, and it's because we're there on a Sunday watching the whole thing. So we look over, and there's 15, 18, 20 people all in purple and yellow. And there's this dude as tall as Randy Moss, but now his hair's dyed black, his gray beard shaved off because he's going in a couple hours,
Right.
you know. And my brother looks over and he goes, "I think that's Randy Moss." And we're all in our Bear stuff. We all got Urlacher stuff on, and my son goes, "I think it's Randy Moss, Dad." And my brother bails. He doesn't want any confrontation. You know me, Ted.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not a bail from confrontation type of guy.
No, you're a steer into the skid kind of guy.
So I walk over, and as I'm walking over, I see all his guys start getting up. When I say all his guys, like, I'm a big guy, but I'm like stupid, slow, fat big. They're like gonna beat up a stupid, slow, fat guy big.
Are we calling back to Grimace already?
A little bit.
That's quick. Okay, got it.
But they all got their hands on their chairs like they're ready to get up. I go walking over, and I take this turn. And you've never heard this story, but you'll like this. I take this turn. I go, we're from Chicago. I'd love to send my buddies a picture saying I met a guy that looked just like Randy Moss on the day he was going into Hall of Fame, just to screw with him. And he goes, "No, man, no, I'm with my family, la la." And he looked at me, and I go, "Oh," and his guys are standing up. And my son, Chuck, he starts walking away. He's still about 15 feet away. He's just trying to see, like, can I come over, Dad? Can I get a picture? Right. You know? And so I don't know how many guys were going to beat me up, but like 8 of them were going to.
But you don't know.
One of them would have beat me up.
I was going to say,
the
they
other
only
7,
needed one.
Right. The other 7 were going to clap.
You know how many people were going to at least be in the circle.
Right. So anyway, I decide I'm going to turn and walk away. As I do, I put my hand on his shoulder. He turns and looks back at me. And I said, "Congratulations, brother." Just like that. He looks down at me. He winks like, "Hey, you got me." And I walked away. And as I turned, without saying anything, I just mouthed to my son, "That's Randy Moss." Right? So we get out to the car, and my brother's like, "I told you it wasn't." I told you. And Chuck, my son, he's like, "You just missed the best story ever. He met Randy Moss." I'm like, I didn't meet him. You know what I mean? I couldn't get any proof, couldn't get nothing else. But that weekend was electric, and it was all coming to a head at the end where I thought, I'm going to watch.
You can do the electric slide.
Yeah, boogie,
it's
woogie,
electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie. But when it came to a culmination and Urlacher was going in like second to last, I was like, this is going to be great. And he come up with hair.
Can I tell you a similar story?
Yeah.
About that? First off, I'm sorry for your son he thinks that's the best story ever. I hope he gets a life at some point.
He should have caused Dad get beat up. Yeah. That would have been a much better story.
Yeah. But do you remember when the Bears, they were renovating Soldier Field and the Bears had to play in Champaign-Urbana?
Yes.
So I was living there at the time. And so I got...
At Soldier Field?
Yes.
Was it awkward?
No, I was living at Memorial Stadium where they were, which was awkward because then I had to move out because all these Bears fans came down.
10-4.
But no, I got season tickets for the games that they were down there, which they were trash then. Like, horrible trash. I don't remember...
It's like Dick Duran years, I think. Yeah.
Dick Duran stat? Sure.
Yeah.
So they're playing the Pack. The Packers are in town. Now, we had figured out from previous games where the opposing teams would stay, like the hotel they'd stay in.
Oh, okay. Like the only nice hotel in whole town?
Well, the one that's one level below that, just for subterfuge reasons.
Right.
They're probably not at the Holiday Inn. They're probably at the Holiday Inn Express. So it was for the Brett Favre years.
Okay.
Right. So it's the Packers. You don't like the Packers or anything, but it's like, when am I ever going to run into someone on the level of Brett Favre, especially when we're talking about the Bears? You know what I mean? Like on the Urlacher was probably the most famous Bear at that time, and we didn't know where they were, or you could see them up here. So we're like, let's just go see what this guy's like. I've never seen him in person. I know, you don't know. And we go there, and there's a couple of guys in one of the conference rooms, looking through some material, whatever. So people are crowding around that. I'm like, well, you know what? Favre is not going to see that crowd and come out through those doors. They're going to find another way to get him out.
Right, yeah.
So we go to the other side of the lobby where you can see that there's probably interior doorways that lead to this place. He comes out. I'm right in front of him, maybe 5 feet. Look at him, look at me, look at him. I was like, "You're not that big." And he was like, "I get 2." And I was like, "Oh, I get it. You get 2 kills a year? Sure." And he was like, he winked at me. It just kept going. I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that, but he just wasn't that big to me. Like, because he's not in his pads. He's not surrounded by big dudes. He just had one handler, and he's walking out and just like, he just put
one handler like he's the rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, probably.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? You just build these people up in your mind, and then you see them in real life, and you're like, nah.
Yeah.
This is a waste of an evening. I could have been at home right now.
Well, and And it's so because he's not real tall either.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He wasn't really tall.
Right. And he's not buff. You know what I mean? He's quarterback. But like Randy Moss was like 6'7". So that's why. And here's the deal. You want to know the coolest thing? He had a Randy Moss shirt on with the cartoon of himself on it. If I'm going to go out in public and I'm going to wear the shirt of myself, not only am I a badass, but I'm going to do it thinking that nobody's ever going to think that I'm Randy Moss.
Can I get a shirt with your face on it? Will you wear it?
I would not wear a shirt with my face on
Does
it.
that guy think he's famous and he's trying to hide under the fact that he's wearing a shirt with his own face on it?
Yeah, that guy lost a bet. His mom bought him that shirt, and he's definitely going over there. But it was weird. Like I said, from that standpoint, I was starstruck. So you were not starstruck at all.
Well, yeah, there was the whole thing like, oh, wow, this is Brett Favre. But it was also that same realization that when he came out, it was almost like it took me a second to realize who it was.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting someone to be essentially at my eye level. You know what I mean? I expected
Right.
I was
I
like,
get
oh,
it.
God, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, you just the guy that walk around so people think you're Brett Favre? Like, I thought he was like some sort of like
He's the
stand-in,
stunt
like
double?
decoy. Right.
Yeah.
He's a stunt Favre.
He's the stunt Favre. He throws left-handed, and he's not good. So, Brett Favre was our nemesis for a long time. Yeah, I'm
he
a
was our
Bears fan.
nemesis, too. Sure.
Then this is the nemesis. Hey, can I get a point for nemesis, Brian? That was a big word.
You get half a point because you didn't get it right the first time.
Well,
I
but
didn't know I was giving points for individual words.
Okay,
I like-
Brian,
Brian's
pay
a-
attention. I don't even know what you're
No, he
doing,
paid
Brian.
attention. He just said you're trash.
No.
He did very politely. I give him props for that.
Brian, you have to speak clearly. You cannot say stuff indirectly, or I'm not going to understand what you mean. Okay.
Oh, how come Brian doesn't do that, but you can just like blabber into the mic for 40
point
minutes?
for Damon for pointing that out. Right now, I think it's like 50-2. I don't even know where you got 2 points.
Have you met other people where you were more starstruck than Randy Moss?
Yeah, I really have. I met not really like athletes. Musicians. I've met some musicians that I was really starstruck about. Well, we know the Kegel story already. I was starstruck there, but you know what? I don't think I was starstruck
No,
there.
you logged right up to him. You're like, hey, I know you got a line of like 160 people waiting in the sun to talk to you.
And I was number 4.
But can you hold my phone? I'm going to let that guy who doesn't know you, he's going to hold my phone, and I want you to talk to my wife because she wouldn't come to see you this weekend.
Yeah.
And he was, he was super gracious.
He was
it
so
amazing.
but he was so accommodating because we were so high in the line. I got to figure because it was hot there, remember?
Yeah,
so you got to figure after. There's no way if he spent as much time as he spent with you and me, and you not even really being a fan. You know what I mean?
Speaking of the rhinoceros handlers, they were getting kind of. We were probably not. We weren't 4. We were probably like 20, 25.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
Yeah, but we were early.
In the top.
We were in
but
the
they
first 15, 20 minutes.
All ready.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, we gotta speed this up.
Yeah, hey.
And those are few people ahead of us because they people are like, oh, hey, Tom, Sally, I haven't seen you since the last 9 shows you came to, and he hadn't been touring for 10 years, 15 years.
Right,
so,
yeah,
but he still
had a
remembered
break.
them from all the shows they'd come to,
Which is amazing.
Yeah, so they were hanging out talking like, oh yeah, how's your kids? Haven't seen you in a while, and you could tell the people are like, okay, Chris, we got like 1,000 people waiting to go. Can we get this? And you walk up and you're like, okay, so scene. I'm going to need you to turn this way. We need the light behind you like that.
Yeah.
This is her name. These are the points I need you to hit. I need you to hit these points, Kegel. Do you understand me?
Where's my boom mic guy?
And they were like kind of trying to push me up, and I'm like, no, I'm standing here to film. Like, you need to leave me. You leave me alone.
Yeah. No, that was cool, but I wasn't starstruck that time. I don't think I felt very comfortable with them. You know, I met Trace Adkins before he was like really Trace Adkins because now he's famous.
When he was Bob Jones.
Yeah, he was like Trace Adkins. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, we're going to see Trace. He played a fair, so that's when his first start and his first album was out, and somebody I knew had the stage. They set up the stage for it. It was their stage. He was playing on at a fair, so we got access to him afterwards. And I remember meeting him, and he's like 6'7", but he's in a cowboy hat. And I mean, I'm like 6 foot, maybe. You know what I mean? I'm 6 foot. That's it. And he was huge. And he was deep voice. Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? You're like, all right. You know? So I was a little starstruck
Like,
then.
is this what it means to grow up?
Right.
Have I finally met a man? I hope I get to be like that when I'm big one day.
Did you ever meet a star that you liked, that you were like, man, it's not Brett Favre?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I met, speaking of my go-to movie, Back to the Future, I've met many of the people from Back to the Future. And with the best part, I'll tell you this. I'll side note my own story. No, I've never met Michael J. Fox.
That's what I was going to say. Okay, never him.
That's bucket list, but I don't know. Side note, I'm waiting in line to meet these people. It was Principal Strickland, James Hogan, Claudia Wells, who played Jennifer in the original movie, Leah Thompson, who played Lorraine Baines, his mom, and Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown. The guy in front of me has all of this. Everyone's talking about, Back to the Future. Oh, that's so great. We love it. Some people are talking about Top Gun because he was also the guy in Top Gun that says, your ego's writing checks your bodies can't cash, that guy. And then the guy in front of me has all this Masters of the Universe paraphernalia because he was in the movie Masters of the Universe.
Which was a total flop.
Terrible.
The movie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They actually, Superman 4 was so bad because the studio stole money from that production to try to bolster the production of Master of the Universe. So when it came to making Superman 4, they're like, we got nothing. We're going to make some clone story, I guess, where we make Nuclear Man, whatever. People have seen the movie, know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, that's
Superman's going to fight He-Man.
Yeah. Superman's going to fight nuclear weapons. That sounds like a great movie. So anyway, everyone in the line is like, oh, dude, don't bring those up. Don't. You have time. We got 20 minutes before we're going to be turning this corner and meet these people. Don't bring that up. I don't say anything. I'm like, I want to see how this plays out. I'm like quiet.
And you're behind them?
Yeah.
Oh, so you get a bird's eye view.
Right. I want to see how this goes down. You need to stop discouraging this man. I want to see this go up in flames. Gets to him. He's like, hey, I know you're here for Back to the Future. I really love that movie, but I am a super big Masters of the Universe fan. I've never seen an actor light up more. He's like, no one ever talked to me about that movie. Let's talk about that.
Oh,
and I was so angry that this guy didn't go down in flames right in front of me. I was waiting it was like almost ruined the whole day for me.
Yeah.
Except for by the time we got to Christopher Lloyd, they're like, hey, we're having a little bit of a problem because it was at a movie theater. Then we're going to go sit in a Q&A with they were going to watch the movie and have Q&A with the actors and everything. Hey, we're having a little trouble with the theater. We're going to have to hold the line here for a minute. So everyone please stay calm. So I'm standing in front of Christopher Lloyd for probably like 10 minutes now. It's supposed to be like a minute. Like, hey, how you doing? And then move on. He signs your thing.
You made a friend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. We had a great conversation. We're talking. There's a picture of me. It looks like I literally won every lottery on the face of the earth. The smile on my face has never been bigger.
Really?
And he's just sitting there like, oh, cool, this guy. Like, he doesn't care, but I had a great time.
Because you're one of many people that probably acted like that towards him that day.
Yeah.
Right.
But I stole the trick from the Master of the Universe guy. I said to him, hey, you know what? My kids, there's a cartoon on PBS that they like called Cyber Chase. That's one of their favorite cartoons.
You get the B-side going.
Yeah, and he's
B-side.
like, they love you when you play hacker. And he's like, he stops and he goes, it's the hacker, which is one of the things he does on the show because everyone
awesome.
Won't call him like by his official title. So then he does that to me. And I was like, that's the thing. You did hey, guys, did you? Oh, wow. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Will you sign my He-Man doll?
So nice to me. On another date, I'll tell you a story about meeting Claudia Wells for the first time the day before at a different theater. Didn't go as well.
So while you were saying that, I thought of probably the most excited I was. I met
when I walked in earlier. I saw it.
Yeah. It was. My tears were everything, Ted. Those were tears of enjoyment.
Yeah.
But
was your shirt moist or damp?
Yeah, both.
All right.
Both. I met Mike Ditka.
Oh, did you?
And like I said, I bleed blue and orange. Love the Bears. We were 9 years old when they won the Super Bowl, and that's the first year I really watched football. And I thought, how's it get better than this? I'm 44 now, and it has not. So
yeah,
it does not get better.
Early for
right,
sure.
It does not get better. 06 thought maybe no, but anyway, so I meet Ditka.
They do that just enough to keep you involved.
Yeah, he's signing smart man. He's signing his bottles of wine. Okay, I'm not a drinker, so that's cool. I buy 2 bottles of wine, have him sign those, and I take my son, Zachary Thomas, but we call him Chuck affectionately. But I take his jersey because he was born in 07. I made a Bears jersey that says 07. It says Paracchio. It's a small kid's jersey. He'll never wear it out in public because I hate people that do that. You know what I mean? With their own name. But it's 07, and I had the whole family sign his jersey. Okay? So the family autographed his jersey. Well, they autographed it on the shoulders and around the top. I had Ditka do it on the 07. He wrote right down there, Hall of Fame, Ditka. So he signed the bottles and he signed that. But same thing, as I'm standing in line, I'm the next guy, and I'm like, I'm all excited, and nobody's going to screw it up for me because I could tell he's not in a good mood. You know what I mean? But it was something. The guys behind me scream, hey, coach, you got your golf clubs? You going golfing? Hey, what you got going on, coach? And they're going on. And I'm like,
can I side note you further? I just love those people that think like, oh, you know what this needs? This needs more me.
Yeah.
And then they just throw them into stuff that
like he just finished signing, and I see him roll his eyes, and I'm like, thanks for pissing him off when I get to the table. Thank you. So I said, hey, coach, I appreciate what you're doing today. Thank you. He shook my hand, which he didn't do a lot, which was cool because I didn't see him do that a lot in line. I put the jersey down and I said, hey, I said, the Paracchio is my last name, but I said the 07 is the year my son was born. I said, so the family signed all up here. I said, you're family to me. I need you to sign on here. And he looks at me with a straight, and he smiles, kind of smirks. And he says, that's a really good idea, son. And I'm like, he called me son. I want to turn around and punch these golf guys in their face. Now, as soon as I walk away, they walk up and I'm looking, I'm watching. He grabs their thing, doesn't make any eye contact, signs, hands it back to him, signs, hands it back to him, and they go to say something and they go, next. So, but that was probably the most starstruck I was. And again, I mean, he's old man, he's past his prime, I get it, but he still did something that I saw as a kid, and he was a persona, a larger than life persona in Chicago for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I never got to meet Walter Payton or a lot of other players from that team that would have been significant like Ditka was. So it was very cool.
The good thing about, this kind of stuff that we do is that I don't have fear to talk to anyone.
Right.
Like if I see anyone, whatever it is, I'll just be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And I don't have to do the whole like, oh, hey, I know you're in this thing. And cause they don't hear that anymore. They just,
don't patronize them.
Right. And you have to be able to read the room. You can't walk up and be like, I think this guy doesn't want to be talked to. He wants to talk to me. No. If you get that vibe from someone, that's it. It's over. You missed your opportunity. Sorry, too bad. And it's a shame more people don't grasp that when they're talking to people of that.
I sold T-shirts for Mark Wills. He was a country star back in the day, and he was one of my favorite.
I'm glad I didn't know this.
And I'm at a fest. Did I never told you this, or did I tell you this?
Oh, wait, yeah, you did.
Okay.
I take it back. No, I meant like I'm glad I didn't know you at this time, because there's a lot of country stories that are just popping out where I'd be like, I'm not having fun in these stories.
I really like Mark Wills. I like the guys that were never really like. Everybody likes Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, your big names, Garth Brooks. I get it.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, so you know that one. But I like some of the other guys, and so I'm at a fest like a Country Thunder or whatever, and I'm talking to his T-shirt guy as I'm buying something. I'm buying merch, so I'm a customer. So they got to be nice to you,
Sure.
But then we start talking, and I'm not talking to him like a crazed fan that like, oh, how do you, And I find out his name's RJ. He's his best friend. He travels everywhere with him. It's very cool. So that's how he makes his living. Mark makes his living singing on stage and says, I want my best friends on the road with me. You're going to sell my T-shirts. Okay. So fast forward, tornado coming through. Okay.
All right.
Everybody's hiding for cover, this and that. We're under a tent, which seems very safe looking back, but we're right there. He needs to disappear and go to the back and get Mark. He says, come here. He pulls me behind we've been talking for 25 minutes. He pulls me behind a table. He puts his backstage pass around my neck. Okay. So I'm supposed to be there. He hands me the wad of cash they have from selling the T-shirts and the hats and everything else. And he walks away. He goes back to the motorhome where he's at. Uses the restroom.
Wait, it's a tornado. You're in a tent. They're
in a motorhome.
In a motorhome.
They're in a motorhome.
Well,
right.
We're good, solid Midwesterners. We should have been outside during it anyway.
We're in Wisconsin for this. So so realistically,
being under a tent was you being a wuss in the first place.
Yeah. You don't want to get wet.
Come on, it's a tornado. You got to be out and looking at it.
But here he comes walking back up, and he's got Mark Wills with him, and I'm like, this is weird, because he's coming up to do an interview. Well, he stops and he introduced me. He goes, hey, this is Damon. He goes, he's been selling our stuff for a little while because I ran down there, It's like, hey, and it was very cool. It wasn't like a bigger, wasn't a big time thing, but it was just like, he handed me probably, I don't know, $700 in cash and gave me this backstage pass, which I'll now give back to him. It was very cool. So the same way, since I'm not screaming bloody murder and going, can you sign my baby and everything, you know what I mean? It's that's what they want.
Yeah. Now, did you look down at 8 Benjamins in your hand and go, he gave me this $700 stuff?
Yeah. You're not going to believe this. I got robbed. I got robbed when you were gone.
I got robbed, but I just happened to be bringing that same amount of money with me, but that's totally
that's
coincidence.
That's my rubber band.
That was mine in my pocket.
That's my rubber band. But so
these T-shirts, I had all 6 of them on when I was in line. I don't know what you're talking about.
A smart move, because they're like, that guy's a double X. We got 2 shirts. There's no way he's taking all our
everything's in
stuff.
Smalls and mediums.
There's no way.
There's maybe a couple mediums for the people that shop at Baby Gap.
Yeah, there's no way this guy's taking everything. But it was the same way. He's just a regular guy. He's a regular person. And so when you act like that, when you meet people like that, now I got to tell you, if I met, I don't know who my idol is now. I really like comedian like Jim Gaffigan, but I think I'd be a normal person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you'd probably start babbling about Hot Pockets or something. You know?
Hey, so
remember like
Do you
15 years ago when you mentioned a Hot Pocket? Is that still something we can talk about, Hot Pocket? Because I want to talk about Hot Pocket.
I've heard all your stuff. Do you do anything on biscuits and gravy?
Oh, God. Do you know what with Gabbian that might get you in?
Do you? You got a bit? Do you want a bit on that? I could try to help you. But by the way, we found the beer for biscuits and gravy.
We did find biscuits and gravy beer. You said you really want to try it. You think it'd be your favorite beer.
So more research. They only sell it in California, and they're out of it right now. They make it twice a year. So big push. Anybody in California listens to this, which would be.
I got family out there.
Do
Guess
ya?
what? We have no listeners in California. Newsflash. This just in.
Well, you're not allowed to share the podcast. We talked about that earlier. Just whatever you do, keep this to yourself and don't share it with anybody.
And you know what? You don't have to ask permission first when you keep it to yourself. Just go ahead and keep it to yourself.
Just keep it to yourself, but don't keep this a secret. You know, Brian doesn't tell any. Brian, have you told anybody about the podcast?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Brian, thanks for joining us today, Brian. Yeah, it's appreciated. Yeah, that's
First and last time we have Brian.
Hey, Brian, everybody. Glad we plugged the studio. I thought I'd get more votes, Brian. I really thought I'd get more votes.
I'm glad we like totally veered off and Brian would not try to correct us. He was like, yeah, just go ahead and tell your stories, folks.
I'll be honest with you. Because even when I got this little list of the stuff people sent me and this and that, and I've been glancing back at it as Brian was being rude to me. By the way, Brian, I can pick up on emotion. You don't have to be straightforward with that. Okay. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. He's gotten a lot of nonverbal communication at home.
Your eyes are telling me everything I need to know. So no, the one thing I did think would be cool with wrestlers, though, you know, since we diverse from that.
Oh, yeah. 40 minutes ago. Sure.
Yeah. So we agreed, I guess, subconsciously that they won't make movies better, which back in the day.
Like to put them in movies that already exist?
Right. Sure. Yeah, back in the day. Okay. What I think they would be great at, okay, is musical chairs. And the reason being, you can start with one chair and there will inevitably be one winner. So I literally started laughing out loud. I'm driving here today, and I'm like,
that checks out. You usually do stuff like that.
And I did, and I'm sitting there, and I'm in traffic, windows down, and I just start laughing because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, we should talk about, and I'm like, but what would they be good at? I'm like, musical chairs.
You know, I'm proud of you. Can I tell you why?
Why?
That this podcast has shown you patience. Because back in the day, you would have called me up halfway through your laughter of musical chairs, not be able to get what you're talking out. And I would think I'm talking to a crazy person because it would be like, hey, what's up? Musical. Oh my God, Ted, if they would only need one chair. Oh my God. You know what I mean? I'd have
could be 12, you 12 guys.
You'd be out of breath. I'd be like, was the ice cream truck driving by? Like what caused this? But now you've calmly, you kept it together. You waited to the very end of the show.
You like that,
to go into it. Yeah, I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
but I'm not giving any points for that.
Brian, points? No, Brian doesn't even like me anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even understand. Did you like me when I came in?
He's already got your credit card. He doesn't need...
He liked me when I came in.
He's got your credit card. He does not need your favor.
The mixer's doing something weird. I'm trying to figure it out.
That's all right. Well, the editor's doing something worse, and that's hurting my feelings, so that's all right.
Is it making a smoothie, or am I totally off on my technical knowledge?
Yes.
Is it a Vitamixer?
Is that a magic bullet? Oh, my goodness. No wonder we sound so great. We are pulp free. This is wonderful. Oh my goodness.
We should probably wrap this up.
I think we should. Do we have a, hey,
yeah.
Okay, can I, because we kind of.
Please do. I wish you would.
Okay. So the other thing that happened on the way here is I got gas. Okay. Not me personally, like I ate tacos.
It was low hanging fruit. Wasn't going to touch it. I was just going to let it go.
I saw your eyes get big. So I
for a second, I was like, everyone knows you have gas. Let's move on.
I put it on a tee. I took it off before you swung.
Yeah, it was no point.
Right. So anyway, I stopped and got fuel in the vehicle. Okay.
That's so bad but we have to. Yeah.
Right. But I stopped and got fuel in the vehicle. And when I did that, outside my subdivision, like literally.
Yeah, there's a gas. It's literally you.
Yeah, I'm a block away from my house.
It's like those, like when they do a movie at a Hollywood studio when you're in the Western set and suddenly you walk 10 feet and you're in the city set. That's what it's like. Your house has it's in a neighborhood and then suddenly, boom, commercial.
Yeah. But that being said, I get it and I put my card in and it asks for my zip code. And I'm like, I live there. I point to my house. You know what I mean? Like I live there.
Yeah. Can you, like, hey buddy, just flip on the camera that's out here. Yeah, right there.
So once a year I drive to Florida and I can be in Tennessee and get gas and it doesn't go, hey, what's your zip code, brother? It never asks me. So I have a better chance. My credit card company thinks I have a better chance of running through Kentucky to get fuel than right outside my
It's
my
cheaper
subdivision.
in Kentucky, so you know.
Yeah. But I find that odd, and that it made me so angry that I had to, because you know what I did? I put in the wrong zip code. So my stupidity aside, okay, it ruined the trip here. It ruined the trip here. So I got all that back with the wrestler chair. I got all that back.
I'm so happy for you. I will say that happens to me though, because I'll drive my mom 2 places, like out of state. I'll take her and like she can't travel far distance anymore, so I'll drive, and she'll hand me her card, her trip. She'll hand me her credit card to fill up. I'll get in there.
Oh,
I'll
zip code's different.
Yeah, I'll be like,
yeah.
And usually, I usually catch up to the first one, but when it says C cashier, I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna pay for it myself, and just because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
I'm paying out here for a reason. I just want to get in the car and get back out.
Right. I appreciate they do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at them for hey, buddy, you're an idiot. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go in and be like, hey, my mom's card, I forgot. So can you just like put 35 on pump 2 out there for me? Cool. And maybe some Twizzlers.
Well, yeah, it's on my mom.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Maybe we should
sea
get
bass.
Maybe we should get some halls.
It's on sea bass over there.
Get some halls for her.
But
Got a bit of a tickle.
But I've driven to Florida years ago when they started doing that, and they were doing. Remember when the machine, you'd put your card in and it would go all the way in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like now you just pull it in and pull it back out. It's a quick swipe.
Well,
okay.
They've gone. No, did you know some of the newer ones have gone back to leaving it in?
Have they?
And that totally scares me.
Well, I was going to say I had that happen, and it kept my card, and I thought there was a problem, and they said no. I didn't tell them I was traveling. That's when I first learned that I would then call the credit card company. I still do it to this day, which I guess I don't need to, because unless I'm, a block away from my house, they don't care where I spend my money. But I would tell them I'm going to be in Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. If you see me along this corridor, that's me.
You think they just flip up the map above the bank and be like, okay, the car's moving. Well, all right, now we can. All right, he's out of Kentucky. Tennessee is clear. Let's go.
But how crappy is that to be like, I have no card now. They took my card, and especially like back then I would just use my debit card.
Right.
So then I learned that way. It's like, don't use your debit card.
What I think it's funny is the long con for like 20 years now, it's like you said, in all the way back out.
Yeah.
And you put it back in your things because people presumably were forgetting their card, and that's why they changed to that.
Yeah.
They drive away. They'd be
the next guy pulls up and goes, hey,
right? And then
thank
suddenly
you.
they'd be in Tennessee and be like, wait a minute, when's the last time I?
Oh man.
But now everyone's conditioned to that. There's a Speedway right by my house. I put my card in, pulled it back out. It was like, no, don't do that. Like, what do you mean? And they're like, you need to leave. Like, it was literally like, you need to leave the card in. And I was like, I don't know if I trust this.
Right.
I'm just going to go get gas somewhere.
There's a guy typing on his phone. He's totally buying this. Oh, I typed that. Damn it. Take your card back out. It's okay.
Hey, you, Baldy with the glasses, leave the card in. Wait a minute.
Wait
a minute.
Wait a second. This is way too.
This computer's really advanced.
Why is it ripping on me? That's so crazy. But no, I just thought it was odd that right outside my subdivision. And that's the first time I really noticed that it does it. So either it's something new or
asking for the zip. I've seen that quite a bit, actually. That maybe they just don't trust me. That's I totally understand. You get gas at the same place every time. And every time we're going to ask you where you're from.
That guy's lost some weight. He looks shady.
I don't think that's Ted. We got word on the street. Ted's a fat bastard.
I got to be honest with you. I would argue with anybody that you are Ted. And I would argue that I would love for this podcast to be over.
Hey, that's great. If you like this podcast, and based on this one, you probably didn't, please write to us. You can find us wherever you find your podcasts. Our email is thatchecksoutwdt@gmail.com. You can write to us there. You can find us at Facebook. Thatchecksoutwdt with Damon and Ted, of course. I know what it stands for.
I know what it stands for. Hey, what about the YouTube channel now?
We have a YouTube channel. You set that up. Why don't you tell the people all about it?
Yeah, well, I set it up, and hey, I'm very proud of myself for that. Brian, point for the YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yes, that's like 57-1.
Sure.
You went backwards a point. I don't know when that happened, but it happened.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. No, what we did, because we talked about a bunch of our stories and stuff like that, and as we do more stuff, we're going to put the videos up there. So that right now there's a bunch of videos from our trip, the world's worst Civil War.
Yeah, the world's worst Civil War, sure.
Yeah, that's up there.
The monster truck I almost got flung out of, that's
correct.
on there. Yeah.
Correct. And
I talk about the seatbelt. I actually mentioned it, so it's not a lie. In that video from 2 years ago, I'm like, I don't have a seatbelt.
Yeah. So the stuff we're doing, that truly does check out. And it does. And what's nice is you'll see it on there. that we're going to post more stuff. And one thing we never talked about was the Batmobile. So if you want to see a cool Batmobile video.
I had forgotten about the Batmobile.
I forgot about it too.
That looks like someone's blood sugar was low while he was filming it. You see, the second video is fine. The first video is just like, how do you hold this thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Were you juggling? Or did you have a phone and 2 other things?
Either I had not eaten all day or I'd had 14 Red Bulls. That's only the answer to either one of those.
Yeah, short story long.
We did not have a tripod as part of the problem.
Correct. Well, and we were in a moving vehicle. But short story long, we'll end with this, was basically we're driving back from North Carolina, maybe? Yeah, I think that trip. But we're driving home, and in the rearview mirror, I crap my pants. I look in the rearview mirror and I'm like, this is insane. And I think I would never expect it in a million years, but it is the actual Batmobile coming up on us on the highway.
From the 1989 Tim Burton movie. It's that Batmobile.
Yeah, it's Michael Keaton, the only true Batman to me, besides Adam West.
I was going to say, if it was the Adam West one, that'd been cool too. But yeah, it was the original movie Batmobile.
So here it comes passing, and we take this video anticipating it passing us, and it never
I was going to say, the best
ahead.
part is that we were on 70 was the speed limit?
Yeah.
You were down to like 55, and Batman is matching your speed about 40 yards behind you. He will not come around you.
No.
And everyone else is zoom.
And I'm in a lane where we're gonna have to get off.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, this is exit only lane. I don't care. We're gonna see the Batmobile. So you had to like pull in front of the Batmobile, still slowing him down. I don't know what his deal was.
I don't know, but it was very cool. But there's two short videos up there about that we totally forgot about.
Yeah,
and you think you'd see the Batmobile, you might remember that stuff, but
there was so much other stuff going on.
There was so much other stuff. So, but that's what the YouTube channel's for. And honestly, Brian here at Audio Hive, he's working more with. We may be able to put this up live, right, Brian? We may be able to do this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
that was the answer I liked from Brian.
You know what?
The ones where he's backing you.
Notice how he's really fast when you ask him about his stuff. Hey, what if I say Audio Hive? How quick do you get to the microphone,
Brian? That's a smart guy.
I'm not a smart man, Brian, and I'm catching on to your game real fast. So, but yeah, and that checks out.
That checks out.
With Damon and Ted. We're gonna say it that way every time. I'm Damon Caracchio. He's Ted Wilson.
That checks out.
Podcasting is a studio dedicated to podcast recording, editing, and production. For more information, you can find us at audiohivepodcasting.com.